All right, welcome back to the Run.down post-game show on the Strickland YouTube channel. And if you're listening to this the day after the Strickland Podcast Network, what was it? Last Sunday or 2 Sundays ago, Knicks got embarrassed by the Dallas
It
Mavericks.
was set 2 Saturdays. Two
It was two
Saturdays.
Saturdays ago. Knicks got embarrassed by the Dallas Mavericks. And there laid Tom Thibodeau on the hot seat as the Knicks fans were preparing for him to be fired. Since that day, the Knicks have not lost 7 straight. We win tonight 109 to 106 in a gritty, grinded out game versus a young Indiana Pacers team who I thought for one moment in there was going to win this game because it looked very shaky. But the Knicks pulled it out. They won. This is a game that this team loses. Not even just last year, but earlier this year. Besides like the Nuggets game, which was like the only other win that this kind of reminds me of. Um, it was really like earlier this year we lose this game easily. Like the team folds down the stretch. They don't make these plays. And yeah, I mean, led by the big three of Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, and Julius Randle. I feel like they all had their own stretch of the game where they weren't talking about. And then of course Mitch in the middle just providing an insane game, at least in the first half, I would say. But yeah, I mean, there's just so much to talk about. Of course, we are going to start with Jalen Brunson, the $100 million man who not everyone believed in coming into this season. And yeah, he finishes the game with 30 points, hits three threes. And yeah, he really took over down the stretch. Had this great stretch where he hits a three. This is where the Knicks were down, and I thought, okay, we're about to lose this game. My mind prepared for the worst. He comes down, he hits a three. Then next possession, he gets a steal, gets the layup, and then from there, you kind of can tell that the Knicks are about to get their hands on this game.
Yeah. Um, that stretch alone though was like that was the Brunson stretch of the season, because like they go up six, he doesn't call a timeout, and I'm like, are you sure? And then he shuts me up immediately. Brunson hits that three, comes back on the other end. Julius has like it was like a break underneath the basket. I think Julius gets the offensive rebound. The ball gets poked away. Um, the Pacers start to run, and Brunson just reads the play. Like he knows where the ball is going. He just anticipates where I think it was Halliburton and Nembhard. I'm not sure one of them. Like he anticipates where the ball is going, picks it off, gets it two. The Knicks are down one, and like you said, like I felt a ton of confidence in that moment. And then when Miles Turner missed both those free throws, I was like, yeah, they're winning this game.
Yeah.
And what can you say? Like I think Brunson was vital down that stretch. Again, 30 points, another quiet 30 piece for Brunson. He is assuredly an all-star. There is not any more debate. I don't want to hear about your Trey Youngs. I don't want to hear about your DeJounte Murrays. I don't want to hear about your Tyrese Halliburtons. They can make it. I don't care. Jalen Brunson needs to be there. Jalen Brunson is an all-star. Jalen Brunson is arguably the best guard in the East right now. I think after Donovan Mitchell, I think it's a toss-up, but I think Jalen Brunson is right there. Just a resounding game from him. He hit three threes again, so I think this is his third straight game with three threes. Five out of five from the free throw line. A rare game where he turns the ball over a lot, but at the same time, he was asked to do a ton for this team, and he managed to do it all and then some. So I can't fault him one bit for what he did down the stretch, because without him, they don't win this game. Without his poise, without his leadership, without his ability to just remain composed, he won this game. And it just speaks to, again, this front office taking that gamble, which a lot of people thought was short-sighted. A lot of people thought it was foolish to some degree. I did not. And yeah, it turns out that Jalen Brunson is an all-star caliber guard. All of you should eat crow, and we are living.
Yep. I mean, I'm looking here at this All-Star article from December 6th by Michael C. Wright on NBA.com. 8 candidates to be All-Star guards in the Eastern Conference. Jalen Brunson was not listed on this list. We have Jalen Brown, DeMar DeRozan, Darius Garland, Harden, Halliburton, Donovan Mitchell, DeJounte Murray, and Trey Young. A lot of these guys are on teams that are underperforming, or some of them are forwards like DeRozan um and Brown. But I mean, Jalen Brunson is. I feel confident he's better than almost all of that list, like pretty confidently with this recent stretch of this winning streak. And like we said before, the Knicks have a chance to make this winning streak even longer. And I feel more confident in that, especially after seeing them gut out this win. Um, they're going to be playing some teams, some more favorable matchups. We got who we got coming up. I think after
The
this,
Warriors.
we got the Warriors on Tuesday. We got Tuesday is
The,
actually when All-Star voting opens up. For those that are wondering,
get y'all votes in, bro. I don't want to see nobody slacking this year. If I don't see Jalen Brunson at the top of the East guards with the Knicks fan base, somebody is slacking, bro. I'm gonna be voting. Sam gonna be voting. The Strictly gonna be pushing stuff. TKW, everybody gonna be pushing it. Get y'all votes in because this man deserves to start, bro. He deserves to start. I don't want to hear no DeRozan should start. None of that. Bradley Beal is like DOA. I don't want to hear no about that. Like I'm like every year the East has like a charity case All-Star vote where like one dude gets to start who shouldn't be starting. It was Trey Young, and then it was Bradley Beal in the COVID year, and it was DeMar DeRozan last year. It should be Jalen Brunson this year, and he's earned it.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
earned
he
it.
has, he has. There's no doubt about that. I mean, to elevate this Knicks team to where it's been, to where it is right now, from where it's been, um, and with the 3-point shooting like really jumping up, I imagine it's jumped up even more. I know the last game went from 33 to 36 off that one game alone. He was 100% tonight from three.
He
I
might go to
imagine
like 37.
it might be like
37.
37 or 38. It might
Yeah.
be even more because it jumped up 3 points from shooting 66%, and he shot
True.
100% from three.
I'll check totals real quick.
So it might jump up to like 39 maybe.
If he could legitimately flirt with like 50, 40, 90, that'd be nuts, by the way.
It would
And he
be.
legit might do it too. That's a 47. Okay. I'm
But
about to
yeah,
find out right now.
he definitely did his thing. He's been doing his
37.
thing. It's 37% now.
Yeah. 37%.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I mean the 3-point percentage just keeps climbing, keeps climbing, keeps climbing. And yeah, he's been the leader of this big three. That everyone called the mid three in the offseason, hilariously enough.
It ain't mid
Um,
no more, baby.
but yeah, he's been the catalyst behind it. And yeah, I mean, what more can you say besides just being thoroughly impressed night in, night out? Um, and you know, I'm gonna have to cop his jersey soon.
Yeah, I was debating it. I think I might have to. That statement jersey might be calling my name.
Yeah, I have a RJ and I have a quickly one. I need to get a Jalen Brunson one now. I think it's right.
Yeah.
The time is right.
And a Mitch one too. I think I need a Mitch one. Speaking of Mitch, man.
I mean, we could just jump right into Mitch. I mean, he had probably one of the most dominant halves I've ever seen from him in his whole Knicks tenure. The numbers don't even say enough of what he did. He had like 6 points, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks in the first half. And he was just having his way defensively, on the glass. Like there was nothing that the Pacers could do with him. He ended up finishing the night with
he had
10 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 4 blocks. But yeah, he just did his thing. He was dominant down low. And you know, just another great performance, being a complementary piece to this big three that we have going on.
Yeah, and he straight up neutralized Miles Turner. Like Miles Turner was a footnote in tonight's game, and Miles Turner's been putting on numbers to his credit, but he did not do anything remotely viable this game, and it was because Mitchell Robinson literally put him in jail. Like beat him on the boards, contested him well. Miles Turner missed like 5 shots in a row at one point. Like, what like the way this guy's playing right now, man, is just he's the top 10 center in the league right now. I think you could argue he's a top 10 center in the league right now. he should be getting some all defensive votes just because of his production on both ends. Like, this guy is incredible. He's just been on the best stretch of his career, and it's just great to see him finally get into a groove because he struggled with health his third year. His fourth year, it was definitely up and down while he was trying to get his conditioning back. The conditioning is there this year. The timing is there. His impact on the boards is there. And he just creates so many opportunities for this team. I also want to give a shout out to his playmaking because I feel like that's improved significantly. Like his ability to just process the floor and kick it out to the open shooter. It seems small, but like his ability to just like compose himself, pass, get it to the right guy. He's getting assists now too, which is like really solid. Like that's what you want to see Mitch Robinson do. That's the leap you want to see him make. And if he's able to do something like that, where like even if he gives you like 1 assist or 2 assists a game, like he could do that. So 3 straight games with an assist, 4 blocks again, limiting turnovers, just hyper efficient around the rim. This is the Mitchell Robinson I think a lot of us expected on the second contract, and it's coming to fruition now.
Definitely. I feel RJ had a good 2-point shooting game. And I feel like he had a good game overall. The fact that he's not hitting threes and still being able to put up a pretty solid 24 points tonight.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty good. And like once that 3-point shooting ticks up, I mean, he shot 52% from the field today. And I feel like the way he got his twos was really dominant, especially though that one dunk. He finally remembered that he has some bounce that he can utilize at any moment. And he's finally utilizing that strength, which has been a huge knock on him this year, at least, is like how he's not leveraging his strength to his advantages. He's finally doing that. It looks like it's all coming together, and it looks like we're finally out of the RJ slump phase, out of the RJ calendar. There's that picture that goes around every year of like RJ calendar. It's like
I think Westbrook calendar.
Yes, we're approaching that point where it's like, oh shit, is he Michael Jordan right now? And it's like, yeah, this is the point of the season where we're at now, finally, so that we can finally get out of that rough stretch and all that ugly basketball. And it's coming together all at the right time because, I mean, like we said, this is the perfect opportunity for the Knicks to really run off like a really solid, like maybe 10 plus game win streak with how everything is flowing.
Yeah. His push shot was going tonight, which is really good to see. His touch around the rim was solid, especially against Miles Turner, who again is like one of the best shot blockers in the league. But like from 2-point range, he was on fire. He only missed 3 shots from 2-point range tonight, which is really encouraging for him. 7 of 10 at the rim, 2 of 2 from like the little left-hand corner. Like he was using the glass. He was just getting the push shot off, using touch. That arsenal of him 2-point shooting is really, really potent, and I'm glad he was able to utilize it today. I would like to see that be more consistent. I hope this is the start of a stretch to come for him, especially coming from twos. So here's hoping. But yeah, he had a really good game tonight. 5 turnovers, but I feel like a lot of those turnovers were him trying to like create opportunities for other players, and the Pacers let them low.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think he played a really solid game. He has like really good block down the stretch of the game as well, which is really crucial.
Clutch.
Yep,
clutch
it was
block.
really clutch. Like he's been blocking. He's been getting a couple key blocks the last few games, which is really good.
Finally lock it in on that end, which is something that we all criticize him for to start the year. So it's good that as the winning streak continues, as the team is winning, as the team is locking in on defense more, he is a part of that. He is a big contributor in that as well, as he is getting bigger minutes down the stretch now too. So, you know, those runs with the second unit are, I think, are part of the reason why he's getting more minutes. But yeah, it's definitely been a huge help that he's finally locked in on defense.
Yeah, I'm just glad he's locked in on defense because it was looking rough the last month. It was looking bad. I'm just glad he's back to like being the solid defender he always has been, and now he's getting a couple stocks too, which is really good to see.
Yep. Quentin Grimes had a pretty okay game. He had a key turnover that everyone probably was gonna not. He had a key I didn't want to say turnover, but like he had a key moment down the stretch where everyone wanted to like rip his head off for. Where he stopped dribbling, and especially like Clyde just like laid into him. Like Clyde always has this like one player a game where he absolutely like rips into them, And it's just like today was Grimes with that play, and I didn't like it either because like as that part of the game you cannot pick up your dribble, especially in that spot where he picked up his dribble, because at that point you are literally basically surrounded. You have two
Yeah,
defenders, you have the half court line, and then you have the out of bounds sideline. There's
yeah.
nowhere to go. You're absolutely trapped. And then you put Julius Randle in a tough position when he gets the ball, because like he ended up throwing it out of bounds basically, and like you can't put yourself or your team in that position. Um, but I mean, he also had a key three down the stretch too. So like he giveth and he taketh away in that moment. Um, but yeah, I mean, he still played pretty well defensively, I would say.
I think
He
he was great defensively. I thought he was great. Like his defense at Halliburton was incredible. Him and Mitch on Halliburton. Like Halliburton cannot get anything off all game.
mm-hmm.
Like I think they knew the playbook at Halliburton is he's never going to take shots in the paint, and he's always going to pass out of his drives. And they read that really well. And Halliburton made 2 threes in the beginning of the first quarter, and then he had nothing else. That was it. So that was really positive to see from him. But I guess he got his double doubles or whatever. But like, yeah, like I think Grimes was fantastic defensively, 4 stocks, which is really good to see. You want to see him be a little bit more aggressive with his shot making, but I do feel like he was thinking more of like the defensive end because like, I feel like everybody else had it going. So he's just there like he's scalable, you know, like if you need him to take 15 shots, he can. But if you just want him to like play defense and strap up for 30 minutes, he can do that as well. And I feel like that's versatility. And I'm not going to knock him too bad because he had the shot when it mattered. So,
Yes. Yep. Wish he had hit more because my parlay relied on it, but we won't get into that. The Knicks won, so I'm happy there. Um, last but not least, the man who hit 6 clutch free throws, Julius Randle. Great game from him in terms of not only the clutch free throws but the rebounding. 14 rebounds tonight. There was some key plays where there was a key play where he got the offensive rebound, but then he turned it over. But there was another play where he got like ripped away the rebound away from Neesmith when Neesmith looked like he was about to get a second opportunity late in that fourth quarter. But yeah, I thought he had a pretty good game. There was a stretch from like the third quarter to like midway through the fourth quarter where he wasn't doing anything basically. Um, but that changed once we got to like late in the fourth quarter. He was the one that got the ball. He was the one that was getting the free throws. He made those shots when it mattered most. Um, Credit to him for hitting those free throws because he was 1 for 4 on the night heading into that stretch. So it was like a little shaky. But he put all that to rest and helped us seal this win. So shout out to him for
yeah.
doing that. And I thought
And
defensively,
he was locked the fuck in the fourth quarter.
especially in the fourth quarter, there was huge plays defensively where he was just like he was great, like simple as
Yeah.
that.
Like
And
they
it
put
makes it that much more frustrating when he's not because it's like you can do this, but you just choose not to. So
yeah, like it was basically like they told him, okay, you're on the island against Halliburton, and like he basically pulled up his shorts and he what are we looking at?
I'm looking at I'm looking at some box scores right now that 2 parlays might. Woo, oh my gosh.
I mean,
But yeah.
I'm looking at one box score right now, but that's the Toronto game. Anyway,
Oh
Draymond is doping. Yeah, he doping. For real, he's doping. Anyway, back to it. But yeah, like he pulled up his shorts and he went to work against Halliburton on the switch on an island, and Halliburton had nowhere to go. He
yeah.
had nowhere to go to the point where like, he settled for some kind of falling back, step back, 3-pointer, and it just didn't work. And the Knicks got the rebound, and that was that. And that happened twice, I feel. And there was another one where like RJ gets Buddy Hield, and Buddy Hield tries to put up a shot, and then Julius just comes and helps and stop there. They can't hit the shot.
I think
So
that's
yeah,
the play. Is that the play where he threw it to like he tried to throw it and then Quentin Grimes was right there and he caught it and then that's what led to the Quentin Grimes play. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was fantastic defense from him down the stretch, and offensively could have been a little bit better, but still 12 free throws from him. He hit 9 of 12, so he started off 1 of 4, ended the game 6 of 6. The defensive rebounding was solid as well. He had 3 key offensive rebounds off the stretch of the fourth quarter, where like, he was just fighting for boards. I do like the fact that he's been able to like know that when he doesn't have it offensively, and then he just kind of commits himself more defensively and to rebounding. And I like to see that switch from him. Yeah, although all in all, like overall solid game, even though the numbers are the sexiest. I think his passing was really solid as well. I feel like, especially passing on a double team, I think it was like pretty good. He had like 1 or 2 early in the game that like led to him getting sniped, but then like after that, like he was fine. Like he was passing on a double teams really well. Like he found, I think he got doubled once, and then RJ had a cut, and then it turns like an RJ push shot, which was really solid. He got doubled once, and then like passed it up to like Brunson, and that was a 3. So like, I think he's been playing really good, and I feel like he's been having a very like he's been into a groove lately, which is really nice to see.
Yes, he has. Everything is coming together at the right time for this team. We will get into the bench as we get into the comments. Time for everyone's favorite part of these shows. All right. The NBA season is heating up, and wow, okay. The NBA season is heating up. When I'm looking to get in on the action, I bet with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can bet just $5 pregame moneyline on any NBA team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. Check this out. Right now, everyone can earn up to a 100% boost with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, place a same game parlay, and combine multiple bets like which team will win, total rebounds, and more. The more legs you add, the bigger the boost, the bigger your shot to win big. Again, as I've said before, one of my favorite parts of DraftKings is their ability to have not just the starters listed, which is something that a lot of other books only list the starters and don't list guys on the bench. And that was a big thing for me betting early on with the Knicks is you wanted to bet on their bench players, but other books didn't have their bench players. DraftKings was one of those books that definitely had them. Download the app now, sign up with code TBPN, place a $5 pregame moneyline bet on any NBA team to win their game, and get $150 in free bets if they do. That's code TBPN, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligible restrictions apply. See show notes or show description for details. All right, let's get into some comments. Chris Bernhard says the whistle for the Pacers is truly something. Mathurin getting superstar whistles.
Yeah, that was wild.
I respect Mathurin for being a really good rookie, and he's getting the respect of the refs, but like not tonight, buddy. Not tonight. Let's save that for a Wednesday night versus the Hornets or something. Not versus us.
7
Nope.
free throws. 7 free throws, bro. And RJ
We
had
on a
5.
win streak. Come on, like we're not trying to see Mathurin take all these free throws, man.
I will say though that Julius Randle getting the free throws he's deserved for like the last 3 years is really good. I like the refs doing that. Much appreciated. I think he's averaging 10 over the win streak, which is nuts. But like I feel like all of them should be like averaging 10. Maybe that's just because like I'm a homer, but like Brunson gets whacked every time he goes down the court.
RJ gets murdered every time he goes to the basket.
Yeah, like it's nuts, but can't keep playing as long as they.
Yeah, I mean we got the win, so
yeah.
Free throw disparity, foul disparity or not, we still won. So I'll take it. But they'll definitely hear my voice if we lose, when we lose, whatever it may be. If the whistles are not in our favor, like
We're
a
not
Portland
losing
Trailblazers game.
We're not losing until next year. It's all right.
That would be great to like ride in like a what?
Imagine we go all of December undefeated.
That would be
Son.
That would lead to Thibs getting an extension though.
He gets a statue. What you mean? They'll extend him at half court. It'll literally be like a damn award ceremony. He'll sign the contract in front of everybody. And they go Knicks. and then I swear to God, he got the statue. Patrick Ewing
Yas
had no statue, but he'll get one. Shit.
Yasser says that's it. I've seen enough. It hasn't been washed in weeks, but putting on my RJ jersey, it's time. Yasser has moved past the slander. He is going to put on his RJ jersey. I haven't worn any of my jerseys all year.
Yeah, you know, I have to put on
The 7 for the win
seven
streak
for
and
seven.
mellow.
You know what it is.
Yeah, I haven't put on any of my jerseys yet. I might put it on if we get to 10. If we get to 10, I'll put on the jersey.
Can I pull up the Clyde one?
Nah, I don't got no Clyde one.
Damn, slacking.
I am slacking. I took a break because I was like on a spending splurge of Knicks gear at one point, so
You know what? I get that.
I had to take a break. But if we get to 10, I'll back out. I'll back out maybe the RJ jersey or the Quickly jersey, or maybe even buy the Brunson one.
Yeah, I think the Brunson one might be a bust cop.
I got the mellow ones and I got the J.R. Smith one in the tuck, but it's like, those are for like super special occasions. That's from the winning years. But yeah. Brent says, welcome, Brent. Haven't seen you in the chat in a while. Halliburton really the next Chris Paul, because when his team needed him most, he vanished. Stat padding bum, passed off the first clutch shot, bricked the second, then couldn't
Ruin his stats enough. Yep.
Then couldn't ruin his stats enough to miss the second free throw.
Boy, he was literally like trying so hard to not take shots. Like, I get it. His numbers are gaudy, but like he looked lost out there. He couldn't get any paint touches, which means that he had no effect in the game. He had no effect on the game, dude. I did not care. I did not care about him playing. He was another guy. He was another guy, and the fact that he's unwilling to take layups makes him so predictable, because he's going to do. That's all he does. That's all he does. He gets 2 feet into the paint. Instead of like taking a layup, he just goes, I'm going to kick it out to open shooter. So like he gets assists and like he's able to score 20 because he's a good shooter. But like I don't care about this guy, dude. I don't care about him. He's not this all-star talent that Knicks somehow passed up on. Like, he's good. Like, if there's somebody else in the team who like takes shots, like he becomes significantly less important. Like, he will make the all-star team this year just because of numbers. But
and
like Jalen Brunson
is mid.
Yeah. But like you're asking me if I want like Halliburton or Jalen Brunson. I'm taking Jalen Brunson 10 times out of 10.
I mean, look at the way Jalen Brunson's able to take over games the way that he does late in the fourth quarter.
And then, like, you look at the difference between Halliburton and Jalen Brunson. That was it. That was one all-star guard coming out and like showing you how to basically seal games. And there was one guy who was shaking like a stripper when the moment got tough. Man was at Magic City in his head. I don't know what they got in Magic City down there in Indiana, but like he was literally back up there doing the turkey later because he did not want to take any shots. So I don't care about the Halliburton. I know they missed out on Halliburton. Who cares?
Right? Yeah. I mean, Jordan Bub says Jalen Brunson is him. RJ had a nice game from the 2-point percentage, not so much from 3. QG, I always get that. That's a tongue twister right there. QG with timing 3, massive rebound in the 4th. Even with his brain fart and 30 continued to. Next comment. I'm crying. But yeah, Jordan Bub again encapsulating the game perfectly right there. JL says we survived an all-time fake ass performance from Neesmith. God is good. Yeah, Neesmith was out here like hitting step backs, dunking on folks in the paint. Like he was just doing everything, and I was just like, okay, like
you cannot tell me that was of righteousness, because Neesmith hitting step back, he hit 2 of them. Aaron Neesmith hitting 2 step back threes is not holy. I don't care what you say. Like, that was such a fake ass game, and they tried to use all the fake shit, but it didn't work. Because God is good. All the time, and all the time God is good, man.
Yeah, Neesmith was. I was watching this game and I was like, okay, are we really gonna lose to the hand of Aaron Neesmith? If so, then so be it. I mean, it's better than losing to like Halliburton or Miles Turner. Um, Thankfully, it wasn't any of them. So
I'll take it. I will take it.
yeah. Let's see. Ace Bouchard says it was a nice enough game from the big mid three, but we need to get more offensive production from the others. Yeah, I mean, I like that they're those three have been consistently great offensively, but I agree. I think we do still need to see more offensive production from guys like Quentin Grimes, like an Emmanuel Quickly. Emmanuel Quickly had a timely floater in the fourth, I will say. But we do need to see more from him offensively, as well as in general. We need to see more from the others on this team offensively. We got a taste of that from Quentin Grimes in that game against the Bulls the other day, but it's something that needs to be more consistent so that way the offensive burden isn't so much on those three guys offensively. So yeah.
Then again, like if you're getting like I think it was 75 combined from all three of those guys. Yeah, 75. No, I meant 80. But like regardless, if you're getting that production from your mid three, then like you really only need like again a Mitch having 10 points and maybe another guy having like 11, and you're fine. I kind of feel like at this point it's basically I think you could count on the mid five to equal around like 60 to 80, and then like you have your other guys step up. They definitely do need some more offense though. Would not be surprised if they look for a trade. I think they might look for like a way to get some cheap bench scoring because the bench is good defensively, but they need some kind of offensive boost. And it's been rough with Hartenstein and Sims, even though the defense is good with those guys and the rebounding is especially really good with those guys, the the offense is dreadful because Miles has to find himself. Shout out to Miles though, hitting that nice three in the fourth quarter, I believe. But they need to get some more offense there.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm so wow.
Obi out hurts the bench. Where does Cam? He can help showcase him. Cam isn't helping this bench unit score.
I think he does a little bit, just like helping off the closeouts. I think he
Yeah, but like,
definitely.
I mean, he's I mean, it's whatever. I don't really care about Cam Reddish. I mean, they already showcased him enough. They want to trade him.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if he bought into the role that they want him to have, then yeah, he would be a help offensively off the bench. Because I mean, defensively, he's still pretty solid.
Right.
Um, he
He's
had some
right.
issues against quicker guards, but like that's expected. But yeah, looks like Cam won't be seeing anytime soon. We haven't heard any trade requests or trade rumors about him asking out, so I guess that's a good thing. Um, but yeah, it seems like he's buying into being a good teammate, and winning cures all. Like he's not gonna complain because the team is winning. If the team were losing, though, bet there'd be some rumblings about Cam thinks he can help the team off the bench. He doesn't think he should be out of the rotation, but we're winning, so there's none of that. So, I mean, hey.
Yeah.
Ace Bouchard also says, I appreciate the Knicks embracing switching and trapping more against certain matchups with certain personnel. Yeah, I mean, thankfully, Dibs has somewhat adjusted to these um these matchups. Um, Again, going I guess with the smaller rotation, it's kind of forced his hand creative wise in terms of doing different things. So we have to give him his fair share of props there, I would say.
Yeah. Dibbs deserves props for finally doing the things he should have done like a long ass time ago. Like Julius switching has been a thing since he was on the Lakers. Like it's about time he got to switch more, but I'm glad for him doing it sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Oh wow. Wow. Um let's see. let's get to this one. I don't know what switch was flipped for RJ and Julius in terms of their defensive intensity, but it has been the most important factor for them. Yeah, it's been huge. Um, it makes the starting lineup like passable on defense, where we're not like getting run out of the gym by teams. So yeah,
I would argue it makes it more than passable. I think it makes it elite because with with Grimes and Mitch and like a decent showing from RJ, it's a good defense. When like Rando can play that way as well, and RJ can fire more than like just being mediocre, then like it's elite. And Brunson is still giving you like good production as well defensively, even though he's smaller. He can still like get into passing lanes and get steals and such. Like again, he had another steal tonight, two steals tonight actually. So like when that starting lineup gets to basically like just zoom around and close out, and like you saw it for like a lot of the first quarter where they were just like every time the Pacers tried to run, there'd be close out, close out, close out, close out, and then like they would get back on defense, and then like would just make shots difficult. So that's what you like to see from this defensive unit, and that's why they've been so effective.
yeah. I mean, it definitely helps with the added guys off the bench with Deuce and Sims to help with defensive intensity and whatnot. But yeah, I think the starting lineup buying in defensively, especially RJ and Julius, because those are the two biggest conundrums I would say defensively. Like there were moments where they were complete tire fires. So the fact that they've been able to lock in, and I mean, what have the Knicks been like during this win streak, defensive efficiency wise? Like what, top five maybe or top three? It's
They've
been
been first since the win streak. They're first.
their first, right? Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
like stuff like that. It definitely, you know,
yeah.
it's showing, and all guys had to do was just give a fuck and try.
It's crazy
And
how much giving a fuck works in the NBA.
right, but it's crazy how many guys just don't do it on that end because it's not pretty. Let's see. Jordan Bub says, by the way, IQ needs to find his shot. Deuce didn't have his imprints on this game, but made a three. And can we see the end of Sims and Hart pairing? When it works, it's good. When it doesn't, it looks bad. Yeah, I think it's something that's like depending on personnel that they do. I don't think it's something that you necessarily want to see it that often. Um, I thought there was a certain point in this game I thought they was gonna pull the plug on it and insert Grimes in, because with that lineup, when they play Sims and a Hart out there, they don't play it with like good enough spacing, and I think that's something that really hurts that unit a lot. Because like at least to my knowledge, when I've seen that lineup out there, it's like iHeart and Sims with like IQ, Deuce, and RJ. I don't think that's enough shooting out there for a unit like that to work. So
Yeah, I think that lineup is okay defensively. I do want to see more offense from it, but it kind of feels like the guys who are supposed to give that lineup offense are struggling. So like IQ is really struggling. Deuce is still trying to find his shot. I feel like the lineup works if those guys can like operate the way we expect them to operate. I feel like it's fine. Like in a lineup like that, I want to see guys like IQ and Deuce and it Grimes in that lineup. I want to see him getting shots up. I want to see them taking threes. I want to see them like actually trying to score instead of like how quick timid quickly has been playing and such. So I think it's less of the lineup and more just like the personnel right now is struggling.
yeah, yeah, it's definitely the personnel too. I think when the personnel isn't playing the way it should be, then you gotta switch things up. So that's another thing for Tips to work on. Hopefully gets to that point. But yeah. All right. Let's see what next comment we got. Francisco Carrillo says 30 in, 52 left. Enough time for Thibs to completely go mad. I think this 9-man rotation is kind of it's kind of giving Thibs the best of both worlds, or at least it's giving at least fans and Thibs the best of both worlds, where he's playing the guys that we want him to play, but he's able to like play like this like strict playoff rotation type of basketball that he likes to play. So I think he'll be okay for now. We'll see. I mean, we'll see how he balances things when Obi's back, and then the dichotomy with Sims and Hartenstein. What he does there? Does he play one in certain matchups? Does he play the other in certain matchups? Like, it's just gonna be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, I would like to see him be more creative with the sorry, with the center rotation. I don't think he will, but I do feel like Sims and Hartenstein are like Sims has definitely been good defensively. I think Hartenstein's offensive rebounding has been underrated. I don't think we talk about it a lot, but he's been really solid getting offensive rebounds, creating more opportunities, and he's still like averaging a block. I'm pretty sure. So like he's not a scrub. So
Yeah,
like by all accounts, he's a positive player this year. He's just frustrating, and offensively he could be a little bit better, but I still think he's fine.
yeah. Aaron De Niro says Rick Carlisle just gave the Knicks their flowers. Said we're as good as any team in the NBA. We have definitely been proving it. So, you know, not an empty statement there. And the Pacers have been a pretty solid team this year themselves. So, you know, there's that.
They call that Eldo. It don't matter.
Yep. Okay, so this is about I guess we're going to the Golden State matchup. Jordan Bub says, how do you think Grimes matches up with Poole, and how will we try to attack the Golden State defense on Tuesday? What do you
Well,
think, Terry?
Klay Thompson plays for us, so that's the first step. The second step is hope Draymond doesn't peak ED before the damn game again. He hit fucking 3 threes in a row to start the game. Like that was wild, by the way. Draymond scoring like he had like 13 in the first quarter. I think that's the most points he's had since the 2016 finals at Game 7. So like, hopefully he isn't with the voodoo. But I think with I think they're gonna run probably a bit more pick and roll with Poole. Poole seemed to have found himself. He just scored 43 tonight, which is wild. Yeah, like he finally started playing like he was supposed to play. About damn time. Fucking parlays have not been hitting because of you. Anyway, you are fucking up people's money. But yeah, I think they can win the game. I think it just comes down to like stopping Poole. I think a lot more pick and roll, just like putting Mitch on, having Mitch come up instead of playing in the deep drop, having Grimes like chase him over screens and such. And I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried. They absolutely obliterated the Raptors. But everybody's been beating up on the Raptors, so like it's not really much to say there, but yeah, I think we'll be okay. There's no one on that team that really concerns me besides Jordan Poole. Um yeah, I think we match up pretty well with them. And I think Grimes will do. I mean, Grimes is. I mean, there was a stat out there today that was like there was a graphic out there today that was showing how Grimes performs, like how players perform when they're guarded by Grimes, and they've been pretty. Players have been pretty pedestrian when Grimes is guarding them, so I feel pretty confident in Grimes matching up with Poole. Poole doesn't do anything that's like super uber spectacular that like is like he's not like someone that's like super quick that's like gonna like give Grimes problems that way, or he's someone that's like super physical. So I think Grimes will be fine with against him.
Yeah, they just need to like really play on screens, and they can't let him get space because he only needs a little bit of space to like get to the rim, and they need to remember that like he's still like stronger and shiftier than Steph, even though he takes a lot of threes and stuff like that. He's
Mm-hmm.
not Steph in terms of like his ability because like he will take those shots at the rim. So hopefully they can change that their approach, but I do think they win the game. And the way the Raptors playing, they probably will win that game too. Damn, the Raptors stink. That's unrelated. The Raptors just stink.
Yeah, they do. And we have them coming up next. So
Like the matchup
I
is horrible for us, but also at the same time, like their offense is so bad that like I'm almost kind of like even if the matchup is poor, their offense is just like not scaring me. And
yeah.
Nick Nurse is running them into the ground.
He is. I mean, he runs similar rotations to Thibs in terms of like playing guys like heavy minutes, but like they're not good anyway. So it's like,
Like in a blowout, Pascal Siakam played 37 minutes. Malachi Flynn played 37 minutes, and Fred VanVleet played 35.
that's insane.
Yeah, Nick Nurse might be coaching in Britain, so he might go back to Britain.
Yeah. I that matchup I think is going to be very interesting though, even though like the Raptors are struggling. Just because of like the coaching styles and like the tactics and like how is Nick Nurse gonna guard against our three best players? Because usually he likes to like box in one versus a player or something like that, or he likes to double players and stuff like that. I mean, Randall has seen his fair share of doubles already. It's gonna be interesting to see who he doubles, who he game plans for, and like who will be able to get their game off as a result of that. I think that's all gonna be very interesting stuff to look for. But yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
Let's see. All right. Jordan Love says Dibs is getting flowers for what every smart Knicks fan, Strickland, KFS, Knicks Wall, and etc. has been saying he should do is crazy. Yeah, I mean, he of course he's gonna get flowers because no one gives a hell what the fans say. Like the fans, like we have been pining the reporters, the beat reporters, and all that for all this time about things they should ask Dibs about regarding stuff that we've been saying that he should do, and he's finally doing it. And now everyone's like, "Oh, shout out Thibs! He's finally adapted, and he's playing the young guys and all this other BS." And it's like, well, this is what the fans have been telling you guys for years, and you said we were stupid and irrelevant, and we're not a coach in the NBA. So, like, what does our opinion matter? So yeah, big middle finger to all those guys.
True.
The fans always know what's best.
We do. We do. Like shit. Put some respect on our name. That's what we need.
Right? I ain't doing 2K rebuilds and giving and bringing the Knicks to glory for nothing, bro.
Facts. Like we undefeated in my fucking 2K build.
Like we know what we're doing.
I put it in just work.
Facts. Let's see. JL says, I hope Wiggins doesn't come back from injury against us. It seems everyone does, including Duarte today. Duarte, I mean, I saw that and I was like, oh, classic guy comes back versus the Knicks. But like Duarte didn't really do anything to kill us. He had like a 3 or something, but like he really didn't do anything spectacular. I think he's still finding his footing because he's like always out. So
Yeah, it was okay. Like he was alright. I don't think he hit a three today. I think he was 2 of 5. Yeah, he didn't hit a three. It got called back. It was a 3, and
oh, it
then it
was a
got called back.
2.
Yeah, it was a 2.
Okay.
And then he missed 3 free throws. So yeah, and he played for us today.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Wiggins coming back does make things a little interesting in that Golden State game, just a quite bit because Wiggins has been the Warriors one of their better players, or like if not their second best player, I would say offensively. He was the one player that was consistently dropping like 20 a night after Steph. Um, so having him back would give them something offensively and also defensively. He's one of their best players, especially guarding perimeter guys, and he would be someone that probably matches up against RJ. So it makes that matchup just a little bit more interesting and not as easy, I would say, as Knicks fans probably think it would be with no Steph and no Wiggins already. So if Wiggins comes back, then that does make the matchup that much more interesting. And yeah.
Yep.
You want to address this next comment? Well, I tried to
Uh, okay, Knicks versus Golden State on TNT. Oh yeah, shit is on TNT, right? Who are you hoping doesn't announce this game? I hope it's not Reggie. I really hope it's not Reggie. Could Reggie just be doing the mean gawk for any team that is the Knicks? Jordan Poole is a fantastic and rising young talent, and the Knicks, and then he'll be like, well, the Knicks have not been a good defensive team this year, and the addition of Jalen Brunson has made them worse. Like he'll just say some wrong shit. And I had that shot in the 1990s, even though Patrick, you would beat my ass more than I beat him. But regardless, I had that shot, and I'm living off that shot 30 years later. Also, I feel like I hate New York. The fans. That's it. Like, I don't want to hear Reggie Miller, bro. Just give me Kevin Harlan and Steph Van Gundy. Let's be adults. Let's be adults. Let's keep it A1. Like, keep Reggie Miller for the West Coast. Please. I'm begging. Please. There's no Steph this game, so I don't want to hear nothing about like, oh, Reggie Miller needs to be there for the sharpshooter. No. Put him on the West Coast game. Let's grow up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on with my voice. Shot these last couple seconds. But yeah, I mean for me, maybe Stan. Reggie is like a given. Like I hate hearing Reggie's voice on the broadcast. Maybe Stan. I'm not sure um if he's like someone that's commentated on a bunch of our games before. Um but yeah, his voice is annoying, and like sometimes he starts talking about stuff that like I don't think are necessarily relevant to well, he does give us our props sometimes though, so I will say that he gives us our props sometimes, and I think it's mainly because his brother used to coach the team, so like
Yeah.
out of respect for his brother, he kind of like respects the Knicks in a way. And I think he also just respects Dibs, and like he'll respect the Dibs team. So I mean, it would have to be Reggie for me too, because I'm not really that keen on whoever else is broadcasting for TNT lately. Like I mean, since they got rid of Chris Webber, it's just been mainly Reggie Miller that's been the most annoying person on the broadcast. But yeah, that's who I would say. Um, thank goodness they got rid of Chris Webber though. Imagine Chris Webber, Reggie Miller on the Knicks broadcast,
Oh
just
my
talking
god.
about God knows whatever.
I need Draymond to retire just so he can start casting these games now. I'm tired of it. It's about damn time. Get your ass in the booth.
Yeah. All right. Last couple comments because my voice is leaving me and I have to teach tomorrow. So Ace Boussard says, congrats on benching Fournier and Rose for Deuce and Grimes. Almost like that being a good decision was a given. Yeah, I mean, who didn't see that being the case?
Yeah, I kind of feel like everybody was like, yeah, you can bench those guys and you'd win. And Tips was like, what? No way, I could never. And then he did it. And he's like, okay, maybe I was right. Like, no, dude, like, come on. But I'm glad he did it. I'm just glad that we can move past that now, and we can all forget about it.
Thib says winning streaks don't mean anything. This game doesn't mean anything come the next game. Fair mindset to have.
Yeah,
Fair
I mean, I
mindset.
get it. You should have kept them humble.
It does. But when we get to 10, I mean, like that's a pretty big deal, dog.
Look, he can try to keep them humble at 10, but when we get to 10,
Out.
I'm talking shit. I'm taking receipts. I'm finding all the old tweets. Oh, I'm gonna be filthy when we get to 10. Like going into that Christmas game, like oh my god. And if we win that Christmas game, son, 11 straight Christmas win, me awesome eggnog. It's about to be scary hours on the timeline. Let's just hope we make it there.
Yep. Let's just hope we make it there. I don't want to talk too ahead of ourselves. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess we can talk about the bench a little bit more today. Since I guess the comments didn't really, I thought the comments would bring us there. but they didn't. But off the bench, quickly leading score off the bench with 5. I mean, it's so funny because like last year the bench was like the last 2 years it was like the bench. It was like New York got one of the best benches in the league. The bench is always pulling us out of these wins or out of these losses, and now it's like we are like one of those teams that is very starter reliant, and like the bench is just there to like give like basically relief to the starters for a little bit, and that's about it. Um, I am enjoying the starters being consistent offensively, but I do worry about the load on them offensively, because they are asked to do a lot. So I am just concerned
Yeah,
about that, and I'm hoping that guys like Quickly and Deuce can find their offensive footing and it be something that sticks.
I think they ultimately end up getting one more guy. I think they're gonna get another guy. Like after all the moves are made with Cam, potentially Rose, and we'll see what happens with Fournier. I feel like they end up getting another guy because the 9-man rotation is nice, but I do feel like they need somebody else who could score efficiently. Like if there was a pathway to getting Alec Burks back, they can't do it for CBA reasons. But like, I feel like that would be something they would like look into. But yeah, I think they end up getting a guy. Like we saw Eric Gordon's name get floated out there. That wouldn't surprise me if they like went back to that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So Raptors, they're one of our teams that's coming up. Kevin O'Connor just posted they are in blow it up territory, 13-17 record, losers of 5 straight. The team looks broken. No realistic path to contention. Only 3.5 games back from the bottom 4. Veterans they could get a haul for. Young talent to build with, making it more of a retool, not a long rebuild. Um,
Give me OG Ananobi.
do they sell off Fred, OG, and Pascal and
I mean, I,
Gary?
I mean, I have no use for Gary on this team.
No, I'm
Uh,
talking about us.
uh,
I'm just talking about in
uh,
general. Like, do the Raptors like do they sell off all those 4 guys and like see what they get for them?
maybe they sell like two,
2 of them?
but yeah, but like the guy that everybody wants is OG.
Yes.
The guy everybody wants is OG. I don't know if anybody really wants Fred like that because like he's been El Poo Poo
You could
Stinko
get
this
something. You
year.
could get something for Pascal though.
Yeah, I think like a team would like give you like 2 first round picks for Pascal, like 2-time All Star, no, 1-time All Star, 2-time All NBA. Like you'll get something for Pascal. I can't think of a team who would want him right now off the top of my head, but like you'll get something for him. I really just think it comes down to like, yeah, if OG is available, they can probably get like 2 first round picks like protected just for OG. Because some team is going to be like he's an uber elite 3-and-D wing who puts up 20 right now. We don't need him to put up 20. We just need to put up like 14 or 15 and just guard the other team's best man. Like if you're the Suns, why wouldn't you go for OG Anunoby right now? You know,
Yeah,
so
I
that's
can
what
see
I'm
it.
thinking.
I can see it. But yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, we could be the team that probably puts the final nail in the coffin for them. I just saw something about the Bulls potentially like blowing it up. Maybe those back-to-back losses to the Knicks were the nail in the coffin. It would be nice to be the nail in the coffin to a lot of teams this year and to like helping like just help them realize they need to like jumpstart into a rebuild or a retool. So, that would be very, very fun to see the Knicks do. Um the Raptors have always been an interesting and a tough matchup for us. Last year, I think it was last year, right, where OG gave us like 40 or something at the Garden.
Yeah, it was a filthy ass game.
Yeah, it was nasty. So, I'd like to get my revenge for that, and it's going to be at the Garden. I would like to get our revenge for that, and potentially push them into a rebuild. But yeah,
I need them to blow it up at the Garden. Remember, like in the we year, but like we faced 2 coaches like back to back. They got on fire. It was like the Timberwolves and like the Kings. And I think they fired the coaches off of Knicks losses. I need that kind of energy on the team again. We coach killers.
yeah. JL says we needed a Nets game during this stretch to prove if we really locked in. Yeah, Nets,
Relax.
Nets, Nets is always like our ultimate battle because like we have never beat them in under Thibs. So like if we played the Nets during this win streak and we're able to like beat them, um, or like even beat them handily the way we've beaten the Bulls, that would have been very fun to see. Jalen Brunson, RJ, and Randall cooking, Katie and Kyrie. But yeah,
Man, we had a better chance of winning the chip than beating the Nets. Like I don't trust us against that team. I don't know what it is, but like we just cannot beat the Nets.
yeah, I don't understand. Like every game that we get into against them, well, for the most part, it's like we've had the blown lead, we've had the blowouts, we've lost to them in every conceivable way possible. We've lost to
Yeah,
them
like
at the buzzer, we've lost to them like to free throws at the end of the game, we've lost to them like in overtime. I think before
comebacks.
we've lost to them because they've come back. Like we've lost
I
to them
think
every way imaginable.
that's the only team Tibbs hasn't beat as a Knicks coach. I'm pretty sure. I think that's the only team he hasn't beat, which is nuts to think about. So if when they beat the Nets, then like the floodgates are gonna open, and his team wins the championship.
Maybe. Yeah. Um let's see. Yasser says, "Did you see that one play where RJ displayed some really nice bursts on, I believe, Miles Turner, even though he ended up passing it in like the second quarter?" Um, man, that's like kind of it's a vague description of a play because I feel like there was a lot of plays in that second quarter where RJ like displayed some nice burst because like
Yeah,
that was like the name of his game tonight, especially with the poster dunk.
yeah, he was getting up there. He had the buddies tonight.
But yeah, it's nice to see RJ remember that he is an explosive athlete. He has the strength, and he can utilize it to do things of the sort. So, you're just hoping that he can continue to put that together, and then with the 3-point shooting, if that comes along, it makes for a very scary combination.
Yep.
Um, all right. JL says, I think this will be our last comment. After seeing Kemba off the couch, cook the Cavs backcourt. I think I need that series.
I
Yeah,
feel like if
Kemba was giving them
you're,
that work.
I know it was. I was like,
He
what
was
the hell?
cooking Jarrett Allen off the dribble and stuff. I was like, oh shit.
He like had Jarrett Allen on island for the last possessions of like the fourth quarter, and took it to the rack.
Sized him up, sauced him, took it to the rack, blew past him. I was like, okay. Okay, Kemba, you definitely gonna need like 45 packs of ice after this game, but okay.
Yeah, like he hooping wearing 34. That's the ugly number, bro.
That's the I'm washed number.
Bro, that's like watching your heroes fall. Be so sad. Like you couldn't even give my man like a 15. You couldn't give him a 15. Give him 34. That's the vet minimum number, bro. If I've ever
That
seen one.
is. That
Oh my
is.
god.
But nah, that backcourt was food. They was food the other night. And Brunson, QG, and RJ seeing that.
Even with like
I mean, once
Donovan.
JB sees Donovan Mitchell, his like eyes turn red. We saw in that playoff series, like he
Yeah,
just sees that as a baby. So
true. So here's a but like I do think like if that player series were to happen, it would be a lot closer than I think a lot of people would expect.
and I think it'd be closer than a lot of pundits expect. Especially
Yeah,
with the whole like, oh, the Knicks they missed out on Donovan thing. There's that whole storyline there,
like
and
their
like
offense sucks, dude. Their
it
offense is
does.
not good.
It's bad. I mean,
And
they barely what was it like? They barely scored a. Did they even score 100 versus the Cavs? I mean, not even versus the Cavs, versus the Mavs, like Z squad.
like they scored 100, and it
It
took an
took them
overtime.
overtime.
Yeah,
Yeah, they had to go to overtime versus the Mavs Z squad, led by Kemba Walker. Watched Kemba Walker.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not moved by the Cavs offensively. So like, I would like to see that playoff series, and there's a very huge possibility that it might happen. Um, NBA scriptwriters they will go crazy with that one. That is like they're saying the Knicks are finally like playing to like where they should be, and like the Cavs are where they should be. So they're like, oh, you know what? Let's write that one in the
Well,
future.
bro, I'm telling you, like Donovan Mitchell versus the team that should have traded for him writes
That
itself.
that that would be box office ESPN right there.
And if the Knicks won, if the Knicks won that playoff series, man, like, oh my god, like ESPN would feast off that for like a decade. There'd be a 30 for 30 on that whole season, dude. I'd feed off that for a decade. Like Knicks make the Eastern Conference semifinals, like all the pain and memories of Roy Hibbert stuffing mellow shit in that game 6 go away. I'm like reborn again, free of the shackles. I need it. I need it. I think everybody needs it. They don't know they need it yet, but I need it.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be the last comment we address because my voice is shot and I need to save it for tomorrow. We will catch you guys on Tuesday after the Knicks versus Warriors game on TNT. Check out everything Strickland related in the description. I mean, you got links to the site, Patreon, merch, and Twitter. All great ways to support us. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. We're on our way to 1K subs, so that will help us out a ton. Share this with anyone that you know that might be a Knicks fan. If you are on Twitter and you are watching this, make sure you pull up to the YouTube, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be back on Tuesday. Everyone have a good night. Enjoy tomorrow. Peace out.